Hello friends, fellow teachers, hope you're doing well. This Assess Your Learning lesson is kind of a new idea where we pause and we go backwards. We reflect, we review, we remember we've had great experiences in seminary. We've written down things, we've made goals, but we forget. We quickly do, all of us, I do. And so this is a time to allow students to see where they've been and where they want to go and how they're doing with that. So that's the intended outcome of this, is that we would review goals and kind of recommit and move forward. These lessons will always start with a review of some type of principle about that idea of the value of remembering and course correction. So the one listed here is with President Uchtdorf and an aviation analogy of trying to figure out where we are so that we know where we're going. Some questions about that. That's a good way to start. You could also, if you thought, well, I'll use this picture instead at the beginning of the lesson and talk about how do you get a seed to go there, and you got to water and nurture and light. And so we can review. We've had some things that have helped us grow. We're going to today review what's helped us grow and kind of see how to grow even more from there. But this is just a short principle to introduce the lesson. Now this particular lesson has 3 different review activities that you could look at, but the world is your oyster. You get to decide. I'll review these 3 with you, and then I'll give just some thoughts on how you could proceed with that. So we've got explaining the doctrine of Christ that was reviewed in 3 Nephi 11, and so maybe there's an opportunity to just review that, and students can say, oh yeah, I remember that, and they can talk through that and have an experience with that. This is a big one. Reflect on your feelings about Jesus Christ. This is the best place in the Book of Mormon we've just covered with Jesus coming. And so for sure, this needs to be probably the bulk of what we do in reviewing, is just remember what we felt and experienced as we've learned more about the Savior in 3 Nephi. The last one in this lesson is participating in the gathering of Israel, and to review what we've learned and to be able to talk through that and have a good review experience. But you get to decide how much and what you review and how you do it. And so we have at the beginning of the lesson reviewing specific topics you've learned. I think this is a fun and easy way to do a quiz. Just remember the lessons you've taught in the last couple weeks and make some fun, simple quiz. Like if you showed a picture a couple weeks ago, if you did some type of object lesson, if somebody in class said something that made everybody laugh, let's just review the last couple weeks. Who remembers this? And raise your hand if you can remember this. You can do it on paper. You can just do an oral quiz, but just get them reviewing. Maybe you could then, let's look at our journal, because you remember when you wrote in your journal and when you had some of those activities. So let's open our journals now. Who remembers when we talked about this? What did you write down? And you don't have to have them share, but we're just getting students' minds remembering. And then that's the opportunity for you to decide which of those things or which of those experiences you've had that you want to go a little bit deeper into. For example, as we're looking at, let's look at this one, reflect on your feelings about Jesus Christ. So if they wrote a number of things in their journal and you remember what he did in 3 Nephi 17 is you did the quiz and you asked who did he heal and what happened with the children and angels that surrounded, whatever you did to review, to talk about the character of Jesus Christ. And then we have these opportunities to ask some follow-up questions, like what are some of the most significant things you've learned or felt about Jesus Christ as you studied his ministry? So this is the big umbrella. Instead of just the one lesson when you asked that question before, this is after studying 3 Nephi, this most famous part in the Book of Mormon. What's the most important thing to get out of that? You may ask them to write some more in their journal with this and have an experience where they go a little bit deeper now that they've been through all those chapters. But that's a great place to spend the bulk of your time. The same idea is true with the example up here as we're explaining the doctrine of Christ, to have some type of review, but then you're going to ask about the Savior's teaching and how that would help, in this case, your friend Josh, who's wondering about baptism. And so we're going a little bit deeper. We're remembering what we studied, but let's just go a little bit deeper. We end with the gathering of Israel, and the same idea. There's questions at the end. What you had some plans to work in the gathering of Israel. What have you done, and what did you learn from acting on your plans if you've done something, or what do you still want to do? We're all unfinished, and we're on a trajectory, so what do you still want to do? This is a great day to reflect, to remember, to look at plans we've made, to remake plans, and to just let students know that we're in it together as disciples of Jesus Christ. Thanks for all that you do.